Hi there, and today I'm going to talk about something completely different. That is a channel called Typebook, and Typebook is run by its founders, Rose and Chris, and what they do seems conventional, but when you put together the whole body of work, it's actually pretty cool. And that is, they specialize in MBTI celebrity typings, and they will conduct a typing, say 10 to 15 minutes, that looks at a particular celebrity in interviews and such, and then stop the video and comment about their observations and their conclusions of that celebrity's personality type. It's been done before, but what they've done that's different and unique is that this project has been going on for more than a year, and they have accrued more than 175 personality typings of celebrities. What that means is they now have an entire body of work on which they've done a consistent methodology. Whether or not you agree with that methodology, it has been applied consistently and in a similar format throughout the entire time. So you have a very consistent body of work of personality typings of all kinds of celebrities. And given that you have now what's a data set, you can put together some pretty interesting conclusions. And as my way of saying thank you to what they've done, I've put together some of that into data comparing what Rose and Chris of Typebook have put together for typing celebrities versus what, say, Personality Database has for its general consensus of what they think different celebrities' personality types are. And we see a couple of things that are pretty interesting right off the bat. First off, that no surprise, in the sample of celebrities, celebrities basically are a self-selecting sample anyway, you're going to find FE users be pretty common, and feelers in general be pretty common over thinkers, and then also a somewhat of an overrepresentation of intuitives. So that's kind of to be expected. What they do find that Personality Database kind of overdoes is PDB tends to think of lots of folks as being INFJs or IN types or intuitives in general. Rose and Chris bring a dose of reality back to that, and they identify a lot of celebrities as being actually ISFJs, ISTPs, in some cases ESTPs, ESFJs, and also in some cases overrepresented, but hard to pin down for me at least, ENFJs. So where PDB kind of, I don't want to say fails, that's not right, but where PDB consensus tends to go is to think of the stars as being intuitives and more thinkery and more IN types in general. And the reality of it is that we have a number of ESFJs, ISFJs, ENFJs, high FE users that are playing toward a particular role, so they're presenting themselves as. And that means, in the case of Richard Ayoade, I think is a perfect case here, where the consensus is that he's an INTP, where Rose and Chris take a look and point out immediately, the guy is all FE. He is absolutely crackerjack at that personal interaction, being personable, and then he's playing the role of someone who is quirky and eccentric and intuitive and a thinker. So ESFJ and INTP being part of the same stack, it seems sort of natural that he'd be able to adopt or adapt that kind of a role. So it's worth checking out. Please do. If you want to see examples of different personality types, different ways that they manifest, because they'll have multiple examples of each of the types on their channel. And then some of the other takeaways is that, yes, there is an over assumption that people are ENFPs and INFJs, But generally, what you do see is that when someone is an ENFP, where Rose and Chris have identified that person being that type, and personality database tends to also get it right. They oversample. They think too many people are ENFPs. But if someone is an ENFP, people generally see that. The same holds true to an extent for INFPs and INFJs. About half the time, personality database and Rose and Chris agree. It's just, again, there's somewhat of an oversampling where PDB thinks people are INFPs and INFJs when they're in fact something different. Rose and Chris of Typebook have also found that there's a lot more ISTPs than you'd expect, which surprised me as well. But I guess that it means they're just very chill people who've got enough FE to they've got the SE to carry them through for doing acting, music, whatever it is they're doing, and then are also just got the FE chill. So they're well set up to be low-key celebrity types. At least that's my interpretation of what they've got. But overall, the big lesson for all of us to take away from what Typebook concludes is that we vastly underthink, or we vastly misestimate or underestimate the capabilities of the ESFJ, the ISFJ, and to some extent also the ENFJ, who seems to be, at least to me, because I still have a hard time figuring these guys out. They seem to be excellent chameleons that can present themselves in all sorts of other manners so that people assume that they're some different type. And the giveaway, I guess, is that wonderful FE ability to just be extremely smooth in their interactions when they're representing themselves as something else than what they actually are. I guess it really takes an FE user with NI insight to be able to snap that up and identify it and point it out. But I think that's all I've got. I would, again, recommend checking out Typebook. Again, you may or may not disagree with some of their methodology as you go through the videos that they've put together and the examples they've put together. Seems to me they're pretty accurate in terms of how they make their decisions, though there is a little bit of that NI magic that comes in, I think, in terms of determining who is what type. But it is a solid body of work. It is worth checking out to see examples of the different types, and in particular, if you want to see the various capabilities of ISFJs and ESFJs and how they are able to present themselves as many different types out there in the world, and therefore kind of fly under the radar and be assumed to be a different type. So that's what I've got. I hope that wherever you are, you may be having a good morning, noon, afternoon, evening, or night. Thanks, and